Hey YouTube land, it's Reef Girl here. I thought I'd put up a really quick update on what's happening with the 29-gallon cube after I moved all of the SPS, LPS over into the new tank. There it is over there. Right now it's looking a bit disastrous to me because I can see how disorganized it is, but everything's still healthy, all still doing well. And over the next several weeks I'm going to be completely rescaping this tank, and I just wanted to sort of capture what it's like right now and start from the top down and then do an update later on. We went to a mesh lid, and what's been happening now is we have evaporation where I had glass before. Now I have a lot more evaporation, which is affecting the salinity. So over here I've set up my Jebao DP-4 dosing pump so that it actually is the auto top off. I've set it at 150 milliliters of new water, fresh water actually, 12 times a day. So every 2 hours it pumps in 150 milliliters of fresh water. And the salinity crept up through my own negligence and lack of watching it. It crept up to 1.028. And I was a little concerned about that. Obviously, when I decided to test it, I suddenly went, oh my god, it's got way too high. So I fixed that by setting up this kind of, rigging up this ATO system and calculating the effect of the 150 milliliters, which is basically 1.8 liters in a 24-hour period, roughly half a gallon. And that seems to be holding it pretty well at 1.026, which is where I like to keep it for this soft coral tank. Things are looking good. The zoos all seem to be healthy, all the different varieties I have, with the exception of the one mystery zoo, which still hasn't opened. I actually peeled it off the frag it was on, off the plug it was on, because it was surrounded by this red wire algae. And the only way I could think to rescue it was to actually get it off of that plug and move it. And so I did that. It doesn't look any worse than it did then. It is opening a tiny bit, but really not much. It almost looks like it's budding on the sides. So I guess I'll be watching over the next little while to see what happens with it. Pally's looking good. This mystery rock over here, also looking good. The green mushrooms on there really seem to open up through the day. See what I can do with that. There's the remainder of the Superman Montipora. This rock structure I've had apart in 2 or 3 different pieces, and I've basically just kind of set it on the right hand side there just to maintain the coralline algae and the live rock function in this tank. That canyon tree at the back actually has a stem. It's on a base, and I hope to put it in a spot where it can do a lot better. It's kind of jammed in the back right now. This center rock is going to be pulled out and kind of broken up into pieces so that I can eliminate these green polyps. They're just so invasive. If I can break off a piece of rock and keep them on their own rock, then I'll do that, kind of like the green star polyps. I do like them, but I need to find a way to isolate them. The little frag rack at the back has some little hippie zoo frags that I created from the cleanup of the acropora that I moved over. My green cabbage leather, which I would kind of like to make a centerpiece in the new tank. A Recordia, a mushroom of some type, and a toadstool leather. And on this frag rack I have the little frags of Superman Montipora that I did manage to make, and they seem to be doing well. A couple of them have a growing edge. There's a snail keeping things clean. And in the back corner here is kind of where there's a jumble of Kenya trees, and oh, that's the dosing pump adding some water right now. There's a jumble of Kenya trees and rock with some little purple polyps on it. They also get everywhere, so again, another one that I do want to keep, but I'm going to have to isolate it. So my plan is, right now, as of now, to create kind of a wall in that back left corner with some base rocks that are maybe softball sized. I have a huge rock that used to be there that I'm going to set on top of those base rocks, and kind of build up from there, so that I do have something that goes from bottom to top at the back. Right now, it's kind of just a little pile in the middle, and as I said, it just looks so jumbled and messy. But my thought is, if I can create some sort of a feature wall at the back, and then maybe make a little bit of a peninsula in the front here, I might be able to highlight and show off some of the nicer pieces that I really like the rock of Pali Grandis. I just love these things. They look so nice when they're all out in full. This particular coral has been through so much, and it's come back so well every single time I do something that makes it mad. It just comes right back. So I want to feature it somehow, take the green star polyps off of there, maybe put a couple of pieces of rubble beside it so that it can spread onto other rocks and I can get some frags. So that's kind of the update. I meant for it to be briefer than this, but it's how things stand today. And I'm looking forward to rescaping this tank and getting it back to something that's beautiful and interesting to look at, and giving all the inhabitants a really good chance to sort of spread out and do well. So I hope you enjoyed it. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm not going to do any editing on this video. I'm just going to post it as is, and I hope you enjoyed it, and please stay tuned for more.